we go. Tied at 10, not anymore. This time, ratified is down. Here in W.N.Y. We'll go ahead again inside Tampa Bay. Gators are going to crash hole 19.
Time established in the Divisional since 2000.
Welcome, CDL fans, to the May 13th edition of CDL Live. And that's right, folks, only 4 game days left to go if you have been following here in the regular season. And officially at this point here today, sitting only 10 days away from starting the 2016 playoffs. So yes, the quest for Crash Bowl 20 really starting to heat up as we take a look at playoff races and whatnot. Surprisingly, though, coming into this game day, Chicago, San Francisco, and Philadelphia, and Dayton as well. The only 4 teams to have clinched a playoff spot coming into this game day or so. Only 4 teams have clinched, and here we got 4 game days left to play. That being said, before getting to our opening feature, which is the Houston Oilers and the Indianapolis Reapers, as of right now, Houston's been eliminated from the playoffs, but the Indianapolis Reapers in the 12th seed, they are still alive for the moment, and trying to stay that way, as a matter of fact, and can definitely help their chances, maybe, perhaps, with a win against Houston. So, game to look out for. So, and plus their first appearance here on CDL Live. So, any Reapers fans that have been wondering, your game coming up. But first, some Development League scores to go through. D-League in action is, of course, they are coming close to their playoffs as well. But we know a little bit more about the D-League playoffs coming into this game day. As a matter of fact, we know 5 of the teams that are going to be playing in it. Oklahoma City, Baltimore, Kansas City, Toronto, Montreal, all have qualified for the 2016 chase for the Soldiers Cup. But that being said, let's take a look at these scores. 3 teams in the D-League with the bye: Utah, Toronto, and Kansas City. We know that Oakland beat Edmonton 20-15 in overtime. We know Alaska beat Calgary 15-5. Vancouver beat Anaheim 15-5. Syracuse beat Baltimore in overtime. Big win right there for Syracuse, 20-15 the final score. And I think that might have actually clinched them a playoff spot going to the next game day. As a matter of fact, yes, with this game day done, Syracuse actually clinched playoff spot with that win. Richmond beat Montreal 15-5. Big upset there. Rochester shutting down Orlando 15-0. Memphis beat Mexico City 15-5. Oklahoma City beat Little Rock 15-0. Shut the door right there, so serving donuts for dinner. And Cincinnati beat Winnipeg 20-15 in OT. So after that, actually a couple spots, well, actually no, just that one clinched. So Syracuse becoming the 6th team in the D-League to clinch a playoff spot. So that much we know as far as the D-League goes. So that being said, let's get down to the field for our opening feature of the day. There are, of course, a bunch of scenarios going on here in the pros coming into this game day. But let's get that first game out of the way. Indianapolis Reapers home against the Houston Oilers. Welcome, CDL fans, to another game day here in the Car Demolition League. It's the May 13th edition of CDL Live. Only 4 game days left in the regular season. Things are amping up. I'm listening to Bill Conti going the distance. It's just all crazy here in the Car Demolition League. You gotta feel the energy. But needless to say, the Houston Oilers and the Indianapolis Reapers leading off this May 13th edition of CDL Live. And a big game for one of these teams. Maybe not for the other, but then again, the other might love to play spoiler. Of course, I'm talking about the Houston Oilers. The Oilers eliminated from the playoffs in the last game day. So playing for pride's sake here, them and 6 other teams in the Western Conference coming to this game day here today with a record of 12-13-4-5. And we know it's not a playoff record, but I mean, it's not like a terrible record. I mean, it's almost 500 on the win-loss column. But needless to say, eliminated from the playoff, I'm taking on the 17-14-0-3 Indianapolis Reapers. Reapers starting to turn things up as of late, but their playoff hopes most certainly on the line here today, as a matter of fact. It would take a little bit to knock them out. 17-14-0-3, and on the verge of being eliminated from the playoffs. Kind of crazy, but goes to show how tough the Western Conference truly is at this moment. Currently, the 8th seed of the Western Conference has 62 points, and that team's record is 19-10-0-5. Just goes to show you the talent these teams are having to compete with. But the Reapers with 54 points right now, with the record on the season of 17-14-0-3. They have 54 points, so they are currently 8 points out of a playoff spot. That's 3 games back with, keep this in mind, with this game day included, 4 game days left to go. So a big game right here that they most certainly need to win. They could be eliminated from the playoff hunt today with a loss, and either a San Jose or a Nashville one, or actually both of them winning. I think they would need actually both of them winning, in New Orleans too perhaps. But needless to say, they are definitely on the verge and in need of every win that they can get right now to try to keep their chances up. So that being said, that's the storyline of this game coming into it. Of course, we got plenty more action after this game, but this is that opening feature, and it's time to get it underway. First, the lineups. Houston Oilers, Indianapolis Reapers.
I'll take names off. I'll take things off. I'll take chains off. I'll take rings off. Place listens, yeah. Fake game off. Area. Anything off. Fool what you want. We stay filling fools. Fool what you want. Your life for your... Here come the Reapers. Here come the Reapers. Here come the Reapers. Here come the Reapers.
So here we go, folks. The front runners are on the field. It is going to be White Ferrari for the Houston Oilers, and matching up to the weight here is Supra. We'll see how he can handle it. And Supra has a good flip for the Reapers, 5-0. Indianapolis in the lead as that now brings out Nickel and Diamond from the Houston side. And a tie collision right there. So Supra on point today, going 1-0-1. Not a bad day. Sets up his teammate, Blue Indy, for the win here. Can he get it against Racer X? Of course, Racer X known for his defense, but my goodness, gets flipper than a pancake at a Waffle House on a Sunday afternoon. It is done and over. Unbelievable stuff right there, and Blue Indy was just how quick he came out there and got it done. And Racer X and the Houston Oilers, you know, pretty much nothing left to play for at this point. No playoffs in their future, and they played exactly like that. They played like a team that was looking forward to getting a good draft pick. Simply put, 15-5 domination. Game 1 by the Reapers here at home. Well, you know, fictionally speaking, but hey, it is their home. Why not? But hope you guys enjoyed that one. I mean, my goodness, it was quick. So much for going to get yourself a soda before the game, but you get time during the highlight. Oh, you can press pause in YouTube, but yeah, whatever. You know, if you're trying to keep a schedule, whatever. But anyway, more action coming up on this May 13th edition of CDL Live, including the Western New York rivalry, which is actually realistically happening where it really is going to be happening. The Buffalo Warriors, home in CDL Studios in Buffalo, New York, taking on the Gowanda Outlaws. So that game actually going to be coming up after the first set of highlights. Gowanda and Buffalo, quick story behind that. 2 towns, or should I say a city and a village, that are only a 45-minute drive apart. And there's actually, if you ever come to Buffalo, New York, folks, or if you're ever in the area, maybe you live in northern PA perhaps, Now, quite frankly, I feel it kind of went downhill a little bit down there. It just kind of, I think, got too popular there. But there's this place called Silver Creek, and they have a beach there, Sunset Bay. And it is a beautiful beach. So ever in the area around Buffalo, Gowanda area, Silver Creek, definitely a side stop. There's an ice cream shop called Braid Miller's Ice Cream, and really good stuff. It's called Braid Miller's. But anyways, free advertising. I'm speaking good about the area. So, but needless to say, yeah, if you're ever in the area, to go around that area, good beach there, right there on Lake Erie, and don't worry, the 70s are over. It's not polluted and crap like it used to be. Well, then again, who knows? Depends on how many people are throwing their beer cans into the water now. But it's a party atmosphere. Let's put it that way. Gowanda Outlaws and the Buffalo Warriors. It'll be a party atmosphere, I kind of think, between these two teams, but it'd be more like a fight broke out in the bar atmosphere, I'm pretty sure. So, Outlaws, Warriors, next on CDL Live, but we got some highlights to go through first. Let's get you back to the curtain. So a great 15-5 win for the Indianapolis Reapers there. Definitely a huge win for Indy to try to keep their playoff hopes going, keep them strong. Like I said, there were some scenarios, and I'll get into these scenarios before we hit this first set of highlights here, as a matter of fact. Tampa Bay can clinch their division title with an overtime loss, or better. Basically, they only need a point. So, for example, Washington got a tie, or Tampa Bay picked up a point today, it'd be a done deal. They would win the Southeast. Chicago could do the same thing. They're in the same boat in the Central. Philadelphia can do it with a win and a Boston loss. Dayton can clinch the division title in the Northern Division with a win and a Pittsburgh loss. Denver, New Mexico, and Dallas could be eliminated from the playoffs with a loss or a San Jose or Nashville win. Indianapolis can be eliminated from the playoffs with a loss and San Jose and Nashville win. Well, we know Indy got that win already, so they're good for now. The LA Blades, they can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a tie. Let's see here as we move along. Detroit and Milwaukee could be eliminated from the playoffs with Buffalo or Gowanda winning, or them both taking a loss. Carolina or Hartford, they can be eliminated in the same manner. Boston could clinch a playoff spot with a tie or a win. I thought they had it done in the last game day, and apparently not to be. They needed too much to happen. I think they needed some other teams to lose, but they can do it today with just a win. New York can clinch a playoff spot with a win or tie, but they would need Buffalo and Gowanda to lose as well. Well, today, Buffalo and Gowanda playing in our mid-feature, and that's coming up after this first set of highlights, so stay tuned, folks. So the Dayton Rebels lead off this highlight reel knowing a win and a Pittsburgh loss could clinch them a division title, and off to a good start seemingly. Zapper making a great defensive move to stay alive, but it was Black Marinello keeping on the pressure from the Atlanta side. Hey, they're eliminated from the playoff hunt, nothing to lose, able to get the flip there, and then against Sub-Zero, Black Marinello able to prevail. 2-0 start for him, 10-0 Atlanta. Now Black Marinello went for the win against Toe from the Dayton side. Toe keeping his team alive though, so denies the trip to the bakery, now out there against Clown from the Atlanta side. And a good fight being put up by both cars, and as you see there again, what a move by Toe, able to stay alive and in the game. Both cars really a great move, but in the end here they take each other down. It's 15-10. So Toe at least gives El Rey the chance to try to force overtime. Has to try doing it against 40 from the Atlanta side, who was going for the upset. Both cars went down, had to get back up. They would keep going at it, and they would have quite an entertaining battle. No doubt about it. Great move by 40 there, doing a barrel roll. And this time again, both cars down, gotta get back up. Game can't end on a tie between a 5-point gainer and a captain. So, the battle would ensue between these two cars, but not a whole lot longer. As you see right here, El Rey down, upset complete. The Atlanta Avengers shock in the CDL world, getting the 15-10 win. I was about to say 20-15, but no, 15-10 win over the Dayton Rebels. A complete shocker right there. Atlanta actually coming away with the win today. Great 2-1 day for Black Marinello. And hey, that 1-0 day for 40 to finish things off. So we move on to two teams playing for pride out in the West. San Antonio Kings, St. Louis Twisters. Sweet 16 out there for San Antonio, and Rowdy out there for St. Louis. Off screen, Sweet 16 staying up. Battle continuing, but both cars down right there. 5-5 the score, but enter Silver Indy on point today, willing to fight the good fight out there against RPG. Two cars with a similar style, but in the end, it's going to be Silver Indy prevailing. 10-5 St. Louis, and Motoblade Jr. gets flipped quick. Just very quick. Needless to say, 15-5 the final score of this one. The St. Louis Twisters coming through, getting the win here. A 2-0 day for Silver Indy, helping St. Louis to get the victory. So back to the East we go. Puerto Rico Playas on the road looking to play spoiler against the Brawlers, who are still alive in the playoff hunt, unlike Puerto Rico. And a good fight being put up at the beginning here. Solar Reflex out there against Escalade, heaviest car in the league, and Escalade, though, would prevail. Got the flip, and now out there against Black Star, looking for the 10-0 lead, and what a move in his efforts to try to get it here, as we see dual barrel roll Escalade. Heavy car can find the center of gravity, though, but Black Star uses that weight against him, ties the game up at 5. Now out there against Uncle Sam from the Bradford side, and this time both cars on that collision were down. Tied at 10. Black Lena would now take on Spinebuster. As you see their pictures there, they're there for a reason, because these two would put on one hell of a show. As you are seeing here, the defense, spectacular. Great move by Black Lena, and a great move by Spinebuster. Yes, in slow motion, roll that beautiful beam footage. Black Lena there, and then Spinebuster, dual barrel roll, able to find his center of gravity and stay up. Fight continuing between these two. It was a long battle between the two. We were tied at 10 for quite some time, but it would, all good things have to come to an end, right? Spinebuster getting the flip, moving on to Green Blaze Jr. Looking for the win here, and Green Blaze Jr. do not go gentle into that good night. Putting up the good fight here, keeping the pressure on Spinebuster. Had a little bit of a weight advantage, it appeared, but in the end, Spinebuster, too much form, goes 2-0 on the day, and the Brawlers hang on for the win. 15-10 the final score. They defeat Alex Johnson's Puerto Rico Playas. Good win for Shane Geiser and the Brawlers. So back to the Western Conference, to the Northwest. Pacific Division showdown between two rivals. It was Mantis leading the way against Monty here, and both cars be down. 5-5 game. So now Buzz Off and Purple Fire going head-to-head between these two rivals. Portland been struggling as of late. Seattle trying to capitalize on that, even though they know playoff hopes are done for. But needless to say, tied collision there. 10-10 the score. So now Dark Dragon out there against who? Game tied at 10. Both cars looking for that critical flip. And we all know that Dark Dragon can make defense look pretty. Look at this in slow-mo. Somehow Dark Dragon able to stay up. But then who would follow that up with just a pretty flip right there? Had his rear bumper in the right place at the right time, and quickly gets through Dark Dragon. Just very quick there. Who getting the job done? The Portland Panthers. Been needing that to happen, been needing the flips to come. They haven't been coming as of late, but they do today. 15-10 the final. They have the big win over the Seattle Lumberjacks. A 2-0 day for who? Moving along, back to the Eastern Conference we go. Miami Mafia, Green Bay Dragons, a back and forth game here, but off to a bad start was Green Bay, who's trying to hang on to that 7th seed. Inquisitor down there at the hands of Monkey, but he got taken down by Shell right away. And like a pendulum, Neon going back and forth here, took down Shell, now out there against Toy Soldier, and Toy Soldier going to come out on top, getting the flip. I apologize for choppy video here, but needless to say, showing you as much as I can, as he now took on Aqua Chevelle, and Aqua Chevelle would get the flip on Toy Soldier, so now Aqua Chevelle going for the win. Rocket Oil trying to force overtime for the Dragons. Crucial thing going on right here, but of course Rocket Oil, he knows the Miami Mafia. He played him for years when he was with Carolina. got the flip on Aquashveld there, forced overtime, now out there against Mach 6. Again, cars he is totally familiar with, has to be totally comfortable playing against these Southeast Division teams, spent so much time in that division, got the game-winning flip right there. 2-0 day for Rocket Oil against an old rival of his, and maybe glad he doesn't have to play in the Southeast anymore, perhaps, but Rocket Oil going 2-0, getting the job done. Dragons getting the win in overtime, 20-15 the final. They defeat the Miami Mafia, who definitely gotta give them credit, though they are eliminated from the playoffs, brought the fight today. Good win for Green Bay though, big win for them. So back to the West, the 10th seeded Phoenix Firebirds trying to keep up in the playoff race. The Minnesota Maniacs eliminated from playoff contention and playing like it off the back. Green 7 down at the hands of Green Arrow, who was on point today. Off screen and down was Red Racer as well. So now Green Arrow would have an epic battle with Black Spinebuster trying to get the 15-0 shutout win. Actually, even a 15-5 if you could get the tie. But needless to say, look at this move by Green Arrow, able to stay up, yes, in slow motion, do a barrel roll, able to stay in the game, and way off screen there, though, he would eventually succumb. So, 10-5 the score. No donuts for dinner today. Mika trying to get the win now, though, but he would get taken down. Black Spinebuster starting his day 2-0, now goes out there against Stock 34. But Stock 34... definitely looking to get that 15-10 lead. Phoenix needs it, and he got it. So, now out there against Diablo 2, he brought his spatula with him. What do you know? Stock 34 getting the job done from the captain spot, and a teamwork day for the Phoenix Firebirds, getting a much-needed victory here. 15-10 the final score. Got a little scary there for a moment, though. They did blow that 10-0 lead, but 15-10, they find a way to hang on. A 2-1 day for Green Arrow, and then following that up, the 2-0 day, the game winner, no less, for Stock 34. Back to the East we go. The Boston Vandals ready to take on the Hartford Homies, and Blue Dragon 2 was off to a very good start, getting the flip on Redemption 5-0 Vandals, knowing that a tie or better could clinch them a playoff spot. But 46 Jr. trying to play the part of spoiler, putting up the good fight, bringing the fight, tying the game up at 5. Out there against Nitro now, both cars are down, so tied at 10. Vendetta now taking on Indy 5 from the Hartford side. And of course, Hartford would love to ruin Boston's chances of clinching a playoff spot today, and definitely playing that way. Plus, they're trying to keep up in the playoff race themselves, but look at this move by Vendetta. Determination is symbolizing it right there for the Boston Vandals, keeping in the fight, but as we are about to see in the end, to no avail. Indy 5 getting the flip, so 15-10 Hartford, and Boston might have to put their playoff hopes on hold off screen there. Mach 5-3 able to stay up, keep in the fight here, and was trying to force overtime at this point against Indy 5. Indy 5, of course, going for the win, and right here, we were going into overtime, but a close call. It was under an official review. As we take a look at the replay here, was there contact? Well, the ruling on the field, folks, stands as called. There was no contact made, no interference, so yes, we went into overtime. Mach 5-3 for the Vandals, Silver and Black Tack Jr. for the Homies, and just like that, the Boston Vandals assure their fans and the rest of the CDL world that they will be in the 2016 CDL playoffs in the hunt for Crash Bowl 20. Clinching a playoff spot with that win, 20-15 the final. In overtime, they defeat the Hartford Homies, a 2-0 day for Mach 5-3. He's Boston's hero on this May 13th game day, no doubt. And we end our first set of highlights in the Eastern Conference. Carolina Wildcats, Milwaukee Mob. Crucial game for both teams, and both Dragon Jr. and Hot Tub Jr. are down to start it off. And, hey, well, you know, Monty Jr. going down just as quickly against Mellow 51, who now took on Cartman from the Milwaukee side. Milwaukee needing a win to keep their playoff hopes alive, and they could still be eliminated even without it. But needless to say, shattered, scattered, and splattered here. Bringing the fight, I mean, he's shattering opponents. Look at this. Unbelievable stuff. Cartman causing that collision. He's a lightweight. So timeout called by Carolina. They put Mellow 51 back together here. Of course, going for the win now was Mellow 51, but Cartman has other ideas. Able to stay up. He believes he can fly. and he believes that he can get flips too on heavy cars, which he does there, tying the game up at 10, but that brought W.N.Y out, and W.N.Y went to work. Carolina definitely in need of a win right here. I mean, they just need to win out, really, in my opinion. They got the flip there, take a 15-10 lead as Cartman went down, and now W.N.Y getting the game winner really quick on Toyota there. 15-10 the final. The Carolina Wildcats defeat the Milwaukee Mob. The Mob officially eliminated from the playoffs. Now, for Carolina, they can at least keep their playoff hopes alive another game day now. Had they lost, and while Buffalo and Gowanda play next, a win by one of those teams would have knocked out Carolina had they lost this game. As a matter of fact, a win by one of the teams in our mid-feature will actually knock out Hartford, as a matter of fact. But speaking of the mid-feature, we're about to get to it. But back to the curtain first. So we are back from that first set of highlights, and no doubt some pretty entertaining games, some big things going on around the league, and it's time for that mid-feature that I was telling you about. A lot of teams are kind of dependent on maybe perhaps a Gowanda or Buffalo loss, and to keep alive in the playoff hunt. Well, the thing is Gowanda and Buffalo currently coming into this game day, they are the 8th and 9th seed of the Eastern Conference, so one of them winning is going to have a huge impact on a bunch of teams towards the rear end of the pack in the Eastern Conference who are still hanging on to their playoff hopes. So Gowanda Outlaws, Buffalo Warriors, they kind of need them both to lose, but they're going head-to-head. So a lot of teams in danger here. Hartford all the way down, I'd say, in the standings from 15th place down, probably in some real danger right here. That being said, let's go on ahead, get you down the field. It's the Western New York rivalry. Gowanda Outlaws on the road against the Buffalo Warriors.
This is game time, and it's game time, and the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defined.
And we are back, folks, on our May 13th edition of CDL Live. Back on the field, as a matter of fact, for our next full featured game, our mid-feature. The Gowanda Outlaws and the Buffalo Warriors, literally and figuratively speaking, in Buffalo, New York for this one. Buffalo taking on Northeast Division rivals, the Gowanda Outlaws, and of course, a lot of big things on the line for both teams in this matchup as they come to this game day tied with the same number of points and sharing that tie for the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, that final playoff seed. So a huge game. 17-13, 0-4 is Gowanda's record, and Buffalo's is 17-14, 1-2. Very close. Very, very close. They go head-to-head here on this May 13th game day, and I believe, I think Gowanda won the first meeting when it was Buffalo at Gowanda, if I remember correctly. I could have been wrong on that, but both teams tied at 55 points in the standings. So a huge matchup right here for both squads involved. Big game. As for the Indianapolis Reapers and the Houston Oilers, team that you saw, the two teams that you saw in the opening feature, forgot to mention what their next game is. Well, Houston's loss, unfortunately for them, puts them to 12-14, 4-5. Houston's next game is actually on the road against Jacksonville, and Indianapolis 14, 0-3. They'll try to keep their season going if they can. On the road against the Cleveland Wolves, cross-conference game day on May 16th game day. And in case I didn't mention it, San Diego and New Jersey, the only two pro teams with a bye today, and they are the last pro teams to have a bye here in 2016. So, yes, full-out action in the pros the rest of the season. And as much as we can actually get in the Development League as well. Only one team on a bye each game day for the rest of the D-League season, their last 3 game days. So, but that being said, a heck of a matchup here in our mid-feature that is about to take place. Huge implications, especially when you talk about playoffs. Both these teams currently tied for the 8th seed in the East, both of them looking for a big win. Outlaws, Warriors. Folks, let's get a look at the lineups. here we go. You can smell the curse in the air, perhaps. Time that Gowanda came to the lead. Buffalo hasn't been to the Crash Bowl since. Of course, you see that 1997 World Champions tag right there on their pit zone. Haven't been to the Crash Bowl since 1998. And Gowanda came in the league in 99. So the old Southtown curse, will it be in effect today? Tyrell almost has a chance there. As he takes on Lamborghini here. And right there, both cars are going to be down. So Lamborghini down, Tyrell down, and that's the offense of the Warriors there. That just got taken out of the game, I have to say. But needless to say, they got a bunch of defense to back them up, but some defense from the Gowanda side. Sonic Boom out there for the Outlaws. Green Blaze out there for the Buffalo Warriors, and a defense versus defense kind of matchup. And my goodness, what a move by Green Blaze, able to stay up and alive and has a flip. 10-5. The Buffalo Warriors in the lead, but enter Hammer. It's one of the heaviest cars in the league, no doubt. Able to take on defense. And that's primarily what he's been noted for. And can he do it here? Green Blaze able to stay up. It was a close call there. And this time, both cars do a barrel roll, able to stay alive. But Hammer hangs on and ties this game up at 10. Green Blaze down and enter what for the Buffalo Warriors? And goes way off screen, and what is down there? And Hammer's still up. No interference on the play, and Gowanda now leads this game 15-10. So that brings out Faradox for the Buffalo side, trying to force overtime. Lightweight defensive car almost gets flipped there. Hammer almost had him, and this time does have him, and Hammer was just a beast today. 3-0 day for Hammer from the captain spot, and my goodness, the only way you do better than that is go 4-0. Have a captain's day. So a 3-0 day, though, for Hammer. Getting the job done. And, folks, the Outlaws have the win over the Warriors. So Gowanda was the team officially holding down the 8th seed between these two teams via tiebreaker and whatnot. So now they officially have a lead on them over Buffalo, of course. And that's going to knock some teams out. Definitely Hartford's out now. And you got to think, Detroit able to get up to 59 points, or no, 57 points on the season. And Gowanda just hit the 58-point mark. Detroit had eliminated from the playoff hunt now. Quite a few teams as Gowanda hits that 58-point mark. Buffalo staying at 55. Still in that playoff hunt, of course, but Gowanda definitely helping their campaign right there. The Outlaws go to 18-13, 0-4. Buffalo goes to 17-15, 1-2. Looking ahead, next game day, the Gowanda Outlaws, they definitely got their hands full. They'll be home against the defending world champions, the Los Angeles Blades. As for the Buffalo Warriors, their next game, they're going to have their hands full too as they take on last year's Rookie of the Year. That would be Hornet and his Nevada Thunder. So Buffalo, Nevada on the next game day, and of course Gowanda and Los Angeles on the next game day. Neither game making CDL live, but trust me, that 5/16 edition is nothing to play with. We got some great games on that May 16th edition that I'll be telling you at the end of the show. That being said, only one game left to go in the show, if you will. Our main event here on this May 13th game day. Classic, it's becoming an instant classic rivalry. Brandon's been now, this is his 4th season, and in that time, a rivalry has cultivated between his San Jose Storm and Alex Johnson's Los Angeles Blades. As a matter of fact, Brandon's first year in the league, the series went a full 7 games in the first round. 8-seeded San Jose just falling short of the number one seeded Los Angeles Blades. This is back in 2013, as a matter of fact. The Blades ended up making it to the Crash Bowl only to lose to Philadelphia that year. So, but Brandon, definitely looking to get a win here today. Definitely San Jose most certainly needs it, as do the Blades. We'll explain more when we get to that game. But first, we got to get through some highlights, folks. The rest of the highlights from all these great games today. So let's get you back to the curtain and get you set up for that. Well, folks, a good win for the Gowanda Outlaws, 15-10 the final there, and they hang on to the 8th seed. And, of course, they are trying to move up in the standings as well, trying to get out of that 8th seed, maybe get to the 7th seed or higher. But needless to say, Gowanda getting the job done, and for a lot of teams, that might be the straw, quote unquote, that breaks the camel's back, as a matter of fact. More highlights to get into, though, before our main event. San Jose Storm, Los Angeles Blades. It's Alex Johnson and Brandon going head-to-head. Big matchup here in our main event. As a matter of fact, San Jose might actually clinch a playoff spot, even with the loss, depending on how many points that ninth seed has. So, get into more details after this second set of highlights. So, stay tuned. So we start off our second set of highlights in the West. Chicago Wind attacking the New Mexico Monsters, and against his old team, Monkey Ball, doing very well. Takes down Blue Dragon and then works out a tie with his former teammate R. He was traded just this season right before the deadline, goes 1-0-1 against his old team, giving X-Wing the chance for the win against Highlight. But it would not be easy, my goodness. Highlight putting up a fight, no doubt about it. As you see this dual barrel able to keep himself in the game right there, and it doesn't stop there. Of course, Chicago knows that with the overtime loss or better. Look at this move by Highlight. Another dual barrel roll, able to stay in the game. But Chicago knows that they only need a point added to their standings to win the division, but it's not going to come today. X-Wing goes 1-0, following up that 1-0-1 performance by Monkey Ball, who definitely had a statement to make and message sent. No doubt about it. New Mexico helping their case. They are on the outer edge of the playoff hunt. Big win for them today. For Chicago, the division title hunt, well, gets put off till the next game day, till the May 16th game day, as a matter of fact. So 15-5, Monsters get the win over the Wind Attack. So we move now to the East, where the Patriots trying to keep alive in the Southeast Division title hunt, and they need a win to do so. Off to a good start here. Black Dragon down at the hands of Referee Jr., but out comes Cloud Cutter, and he even make his impact on this game, getting the flip to tie things up at 5. And now out here against Landlord, able to stay up on the first go of things, and coming back to tie with Landlord. So a 1-0-1 day for him. Padawan out there against Ratitude. Game tied at 10 apiece, and big matchup between these two as they went for that 15-10 lead, and Padawan would prevail. So looking for the upset. Detroit might be out of a playoff spot. Padawan don't know that. But needless to say, takes down Black Phantom there to win the game, goes 2-0 on top of it. So Padawan the hero for Detroit today, but unfortunately for them, because Gowanda and Buffalo went head-to-head, and one of them did get a win, even though they got a win here. Detroit eliminated from the playoffs, but it is official. The Tampa Bay Gators, because of Washington's loss here, they are the Southeast Division champions of 2016. So back-to-back Southeast Division champs. So, 15-10 the final. Devils getting the win over the Patriots. Moving on to something that's plain and simple here. Whoever didn't win this game didn't make the playoffs, put it that way. Yes, Denver and Dallas, and a quick lead for the Denver Mustangs. Purple Custo took down Watsup. Now out there against Gray Indy. A good fight between the two, but in the end, Purple Custo having a good start. Starting his day 2-0, now takes on Reptile. Dallas needs him to be the hero here, and he puts up a good fight. Good barrel roll right there, but sticking with him is Purple Custo. Both cars blow for blow, and sorry, couldn't get that last collision there for you because of the camera messing up and everything. You know, video choppy as crap, but needless to say, a tie collision there at the end, and apologies out there to the Dallas Lone Stars fans. Another year with no playoffs in sight. Denver Mustangs staying alive. Dallas Lone Stars have been eliminated with that tie collision. 2-0-1 day for Purple Custo. Does his part to help keep Denver's season going. 15-5 the final. They defeat Dallas. So we move on to two teams that are trying to keep ahead of New Orleans right now. Roswell and Idaho, and RDO2 almost had a good flip off screen. F1 racer able to stay up though, but this time around RDO2 on top of things has the flip, but now against Spectite from the Alien side, and Spectite bringing his A game, had a flip there, now out there against MX Dragster, and able to work out a tie collision with them. So a 1-0-1 day for Spectite now puts Dragonfly head to head with Governor in a 10-10 game. Crucial matchup here and Dragonfly just folds. Governor getting the flip, trying to get the win now. The Police Porsche, a tough customer. He's good at going up against lightweight defensive cars like Governor. He's shown that in the past, and he shows it today. Forces overtime, tied at 15, now matches up with 42nd. And you will not enjoy this. Spill will be over quickly. Well, you certainly didn't enjoy it if you were an Aliens fan. Police Porsche able to force overtime, but can't get anything going in OT. Taken down right away by 42nd, who comes out smelling like roses at 1-0 today from that 5-point gainer spot. 20-15 the final. Cowboys get the win over the Aliens. Gladiators will have a chance to take the lead in the Southern Division now. So we move now back to the Eastern Conference. Tampa Bay Gators, Pittsburgh Destroyers, and Ratified leading the way for the newly crowned, or should I say back-to-back now, Southeast Division champions. Doing well there. Takes down WA 17. And Zebra would soon follow suit right there. Ratified starting the game off 2-0, but enter Blue BMW, who makes defense look pretty wild getting the flip. Dude, look at this. Do a barrel roll. So, but now takes on the defense of 47 Ronin, who we know can be a good defensive car. 2015 MVP, and he gets the job done. The defending Eastern Conference champions. Hey, they're Southeast Division champions again. Why not? Trying to make things happen. Pittsburgh trying to hunt down the 4th seed. Another setback for them here in this matchup. 15-5 the final score. Tampa Bay Gators getting the job done. Ratified going 2-1. 47 Ronin going 1-0, getting the game winner. Good teamwork day for the Tampa Bay Gators. 15-5. They have the win over the Destroyers. So now quickly back to the West. New Orleans Gladiators trying to get the win to take first place in the Southern Division. And of course Nashville trying to hang on to the 8th seed, but it did not start off right for them. It was Golden Rat getting the flip on No Fear, and then following that up with the flip on Orange Chevelle. So now Golden Rat going for the shutout against Extinguish, quote unquote the unflippable one, and we see the unflippable one staying unflippable there, but it just would not last. The Golden Wall bounces back from that loss against New York, big time here today, and 15-0 win for the Gladiators. 3-0 day for Golden Rat, who just gets the job done today. Flat out got the job done. The Gladiators, New Orleans, now first place in the Southern Division. And for Nashville, definitely a tough loss to take. Some teams right on their tails that could snatch that 8th and final playoff spot away from them with a win, including Nevada, who will be up in a bit here on the highlight reel. So we move back to the East to a matchup between two teams currently in 11th and 12th place in the Eastern Conference, and you saw his pitcher for a reason. Testarossa, the Jacksonville Bangums, getting the quick start, takes down Junk in the Trunk, and then working here on Aqua Ferrari, who put up a good fight, but in the end, Aqua Ferrari down, so a 2-0 start for Testarossa, but enter Bully Goat, trying to make things happen here, and he was just good at the start of this. And look at this move. Bully Goat somehow do a barrel roll, able to stay up, but it is to no avail. So the Jacksonville Bangums, who came into this game day 12th place in the East, passing the Cleveland Wolves, who were in 11th, as a matter of fact, with this win right here. So a huge win for the Bangums, no doubt. 15-0 the final score. Testarossa serving donuts for dinner on a little easy trip to the bakery right there. So now to the Pacific Division showdown between the Thunder and the Shinobis. San Francisco with a chance to take first place in the league with a tie or better. Off to a good start there, having a flip on White Indy and Yellow Spider. F3 on a roll, starting 2-0. Now goes for the win against Hornet from the Nevada Thunder side. Of course, Nevada trying to get themselves into a playoff spot, came into today's game day in the 9th seed, and what moves by Hornet, as you saw in slow motion there, and able to follow it up with the flip on F3, so keeping the Thunder in the game. Now out there against Spectite Jr. from the Shinobi side, and another great move. My goodness, Hornet, Mama put him in a K-pop video, able to stay up and in the game and keep the battle going. And not just keep the battle going, but tie the game up at 10. And now was this Hornet against Black Bullet 1, the last two Rookie of the Years going at it. Of course, Black Bullet 1 2014, and just last year, Hornet was Rookie of the Year. Off screen there, Black Bullet 1 able to stay up, keep in the fight. The matchup would continue between these two. Great defensive moves by both cars, but in the end, you see Black Bullet 1 going down. 3-0 day going for the Captain's Day, and he's got it just like that. He brought his spatula with him. A 4-0 Captain's Day for last year's Rookie of the Year here in his second season, getting the job done. Hornet from the captain spot, like I said, 4-0. 15-10 the final score, and the huge comeback. Nevada Thunder getting the win over the San Francisco Shinobis. So the Blades will have a chance in the main event to tie for the lead in the Pacific Division. So we end our highlights now in the Northeast Division, where the Empire only 10 points back of the Demons in the standings, and starting off with the tie. Pink Indy and Enzo 1 both down. Now Challenge and Silver Molina meeting the same fate. They both go down. We're tied at 10, so now Black Bullet 2 out there against Green Demon. Should be a good battle. Think again. Quicker than a pancake at a Waffle House. Getting the flip right there was Black Bullet 2. Now out there against the rookie Hawkeye, looking for the New York win, and he would have it. I don't know if you can call it an upset, but in a way I guess you can, but it's just Black Bullet 2 playing like the franchise. Getting the job done, goes 2-0 from the captain spot. 15-10 the final. The Empire getting the win over the Philadelphia Demons. Well, folks, back from all the highlights. They are all done in the books, and we get ready for the Storm and the Blades. Two solid teams going at it. The Storm trying to hang on to the 7th seed in the Western Conference and perhaps move up. But with the Gladiators getting a win, and especially even Idaho, too, actually getting a win, kind of the pressure's on them just to keep the pace. Needless to say, the Nashville Nighthawks taking a loss, and Nevada getting a win. So Nevada would go to 64 points, dropping Nashville to the 9th seed to be tied up with Phoenix there, I believe it is, at 62 points. In which case, the Blades clinch a playoff spot automatically through tiebreakers and whatnot like that, so they don't actually need this win to clinch a playoff spot. So some things worked in hand rather well for the LA Blades, no doubt about it. That being said, the San Jose Storm looking to get the win, looking to hang on to their playoff spot, and the Blades, of course, their biggest rivals, and they'd be looking to for a win just to reaffirm a playoff spot. And keep in mind that they are only 3 points back of the Shinobis for the lead in the Pacific Division. So with the win today, they could tie with San Francisco for the first place spot in the Pacific Division. So huge game to say nonetheless. Whether they end up clinching a playoff spot or not, well, they have now. So LA got the playoff spot clinched, but still trying to shoot for that division title. We'll see if they can get a step closer here in our main event. Storm, Blades, let's get you down to the field. It's our main event of this May 13th edition of CDL Live.
This is game time and it's game time and the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defined.
And we are back, folks, on CDL Live. Plenty of action going on around the league, like you just saw. And I mean, it is nuts. Boston and New York both clinching a playoff spot. Down on the field where another team has a chance to clinch a playoff spot, and that would be the home team here, the defending back-to-back world champion Los Angeles Blades, trying to take advantage of a lot of things. It has been a weird game day. The Demons, the Shinobis, and the Wind Attack all taking losses today, in regulation no less, taking losses today. Roswell losing the lead in the Southern Division. That's right, the Gladiators now first place in the Southern. And the Blades, with the win here, could clinch a playoff spot in the Western Conference playoff race. And as a matter of fact, maybe Idaho was able to do so. Or they might be able to with the, well, they did get a win, but maybe with some teams losing. But those teams that are just on the outside of the playoff race looking in right now, they weren't losing today. Nevada, Phoenix, Portland. As a matter of fact, all the teams that came into this game day ranked 9th through 14th all picked up wins today. So a big game for one of the teams on the field right now, other than LA, who with the win can clinch a playoff spot, but to stay ahead of that big rush of teams winning, the San Jose Storm. Now, the Storm was 62 points, trying to hang on their spot. They don't want to take it to a tiebreaker with Phoenix, but the Nevada Thunder getting the win put them to 64 points. The Storm trying to keep the pace, and they could actually move up a seed perhaps if they could get a win here today, moving to the 6th seed and get past Roswell, who would now be in that spot currently. So things all over the place in the Western Conference. Like I said, it's crazy, and it has been a crazy game day. The 3 teams at the top of the league all taking losses, then not to mention Dayton taking a loss. It's been a very crazy game day, no doubt about it. So that being said, our main event, who knows what's going to happen, folks. Brandon's San Jose Storm, Alex Johnson's Los Angeles Blades, the 2 rivals going head-to-head here on this May 13th main event here on CDL Live. Folks, let's get a look at the lineups. The San Jose Storm coming to this game day with that record of 20 wins, 12 losses, no ties and 2 overtime losses. The Los Angeles Blades, 23-9-0-2. Yes, folks, lineups. Get a look.
I love LA. I love Big Bad. I love LA. California. Yes. Still applies to me. Everybody got something to say.
So as we got the front runners on the field, folks, another tidbit of information: if the Storm want to keep alive in that Pacific Division title hunt, they absolutely need to win this game. No ifs, ands, or buts around it. They must win this game here against the Blades if they want to stay in that division title hunt. So the Blades trying to clinch a playoff spot can do so with the win. So big game for both sides. It is far future out there for the Blades to match up against Wasp from the San Jose side. So here we go, game on. Wasp and Far Future going at it. Far Future's been a little shaky as of late. But the Blades have been a little shaky as of late, but needless to say, an interference there. Both cars staying on their own sides. They're going to go at it again, and this time Wasp has a good flip. 5-0 Storm in the lead. And Brian, oh yes, hey, what's going on there, B-Ryan? Brandon, your name's Brian now. Anyways, we carry on here. Sorry for that, folks, but Brandon's trying to follow the footsteps of the San Jose Sharks. You know, knocking out the LA Kings the first round of the playoffs. But needless to say, we carry on here. His rival, the LA Blades, here in the CDL. But needless to say, Pink Indy Jr. now out there for the Los Angeles side. And an interference right there. Both cars still up anyways, though, in the process of that. Just going back to their own sides. They'll go at it yet again. And my goodness, almost a flip there. Wasp is on point, getting the chances, and what a barrel roll maneuver right there to stay in the game. And yet again, he's doing a little bit better from the visitor side, and that time he has a flip. 10-0 San Jose in the lead, looking for the shutout here. Greelina trying to keep the Blades in the game. Almost did there. What a move by Wasp. Yet again, he is on fire here today. You have to make him some great moves. Mama put him in a K-pop video, and this time around able to yet again stay up. Both cars somehow staying alive, but the chances finally pay off for Greelina there. He has the flip. It just took him a while to get it. So Wasp, gotta give him a round of applause for effort. But Greelina keeping the Blades alive and in the game. 10-5 the score. The Storm have the lead right now, and now looking to put it away is Solid Snake for the San Jose side. Both cars staying up and switching sides here. They'll go at it again. Off screen, Greelina staying up. So switching back to their own sides of the field. And this time, Greelina is down. Or, my bad, Solid Snake is down. So, Greelina on a roll. Now looking to perhaps have a captain's day is Miku the Cat. Miku the Crash Cat, our lead mascot. Walks by and observes things. But needless to say, Charizard out there for the Storm now to take on Greelina, who seems to be on a roll here. And this time, Charizard staying up. Greelina is indeed down. And the Storm have retaken the lead, 15-10. And now Charizard looking to put this game away as he takes on Cove-like from the Blades, 5-point gainer spot. And one of the best 5-point gainers in the league just got sat down quickly there. 15-10 the final of this one, and the San Jose Storm have accomplished Something that Brandon always wishes to accomplish and hasn't gotten super often in the past, but needless to say, he has it today. The Storm, the San Jose Storm, getting the win over the Los Angeles Blades. Final score 15-10, a hard-fought battle. Definitely MVP of that game. I mean, yeah, you got to kind of give it to Charizard for the 2-0 game winner, but really, I have to give that one to Wasp. No doubt about it. He had a 2-1 game day, and which ain't too shabby to begin with. And then to top it off, look at all the moves he made to stay alive in this game. Just incredible stuff by Wasp here today. But in the end, the Storm getting the win, no doubt about it. 15-10 the final score, and San Jose improves to 21-12-0-2. And the Blades go to 23-10-0-2. So we hear Miku off screen here. Yes, that's our mascot. Scratching a chair. Gotta love cats, man. But needless to say, a good win for the San Jose Storm, which actually is going to probably move them up into the 6th seed in the playoff hunt. So huge win for San Jose, for the Blades. Clinching the playoff spot. We'll have to perhaps just wait for another day as they take a tough loss in this one. 15-10 the final. And I think the top 5 teams in the league, top 5 teams in the league today, I think it was, all took losses. So a weird game day in the Car Demolition League indeed. With that being said, folks, taking a look ahead for the next game day for both these teams. Already discussed the Blades, their next game on the road against the Gowanda Outlaws on the May 16th game day. As for the San Jose Storm, they look to carry on this good momentum here. They'll be on the road in that cross-conference game day to take on the New Jersey Bandits. So that's what lies ahead for both teams. The next edition of CDL Live, Chicago Wind Attack will be smashing it off against the Green Bay Dragons on the May 16th game day to smash off the last week of the regular season. Then after that, our mid-feature, the Nashville Nighthawks, going head-to-head with the Dayton Rebels. Both teams looking to get back on the winning track after some tough losses today. And then in our main event, it's a battle between the Bullets. I don't know if you caught on, folks, but if you didn't, Black Bullet 1 and his San Francisco Shinobis on the road to take on the franchise Black Bullet 2 and his New York Empire. Shinobis and Empire in our May 16th main event here on CDL Live. So yeah, what a way to start the last week of the regular season. Only 3 game days to go now, folks. That being said, we're going to go on ahead and get you to them stand-ins. James Hulse, owner and creator of the Car Demolition League here, thanking you for watching. And until next time, folks, take care of yourselves, be yourselves, and peace.
Shinobi, my ninjas feel you for your feel man.